Hi, this is Shadi, and today it's going to be a discussion about Gichin Funakoshi's 9 throws. Now, recently I did a video called Judo versus Karate, a takedown, breakdown. A lot of people had issues with it. They said it's Kudo, so it's a mix of Judo and Karate, so it wasn't like pure Karate, but nonetheless I found it interesting to discuss because there is the striking aspect added to it, and it provided a different approach to how to unbalance and throw someone. So it was nonetheless a good discussion to be had. A lot of people disagreed with it, but that's fine. A lot of people said, hey, why not discuss the 9 throws of Gichin Funakoshi? And actually I think that's a great idea because there is a mix of both Judo and Aikido, and I, someone of both backgrounds, figured I can discuss this fairly well and separate the two, because not a lot of people know the throws of Aikido, especially if you do Judo or Jiu-Jitsu or wrestling. So I figured this is a good one to introduce some of the throws of Aikido, not just the wrist locks. So I'll leave a link in the description below for Jesse Enkamp's article about these 9 throws, and you can check it out with further detailing. You can just read about it and learn more. So the first one, it's gonna be like a standard Osotogari. It's called the Biobudaoshi. It's like a standard entrance with the strike, and then you reap away. It can be like a Osotogari or an Osoto Otoshi, depending on if you lift your leg up backwards, it's a gari because you are reaping, or if you leave your leg down and just drive down with the upper body, it's considered Osoto Otoshi, as you are dropping them, not reaping away the leg. So it's either an outside reap or an outside major drop. This is one of the staples of all grappling disciplines, I find, the Osotogari or the Osoto Otoshi. And the next one, the Komanage, seems a lot like Ude Kiminage of Aikido, where you control the arm, you extend it, you unbalance by lifting up and then projecting forward. So it's one of the classics of Aikido. It's called Ude Kiminage. Here you can see you extend the entrance of a uke, you lift up in order to create unbalance, and then you project downwards. You can just extend your hand or also just cup the tricep like in karate. So here the next one is like a iriminage entrance, kubiwa it's called. So here you can see like a shomen ate, or like a palm strike to the jaw, and then finishing with like a iriminage entrance, but ending with like a hold or a choke of the neck. Iriminage is done like usually circularly, and you project downwards, but you can also do it from a straight punch or like a straight entrance, kind of like Steven Seagal. Or here you can see it circularly, usually to emphasize the harmony and the blending. Here you can see you can enter very directly, but in karate you hold it and squeeze the neck or hold the neck. So it's like an iriminage entrance, but here this one is like a teguruma, but it's a katawa guruma. I like this one because it is like a teguruma in terms of mechanics, but it is done in a rather more minimalist way because there's no big lift and then slamming. So here you can see teguruma by Efficient Judo. It's called hand wheel. So here there's a lift. In karate you just let them roll down, and like I said, a minimalist version, but I like the karate version actually. Like you have the hands, you have the wheel motion, but there's no big lift. So when it comes to economy of strength, the karate version, the katawa guruma, is far more efficient in just terms of projecting someone without using too much strength and lift with the hips and then slamming down. So it can be considered a teguruma as well. So the next one here, it's like a uki otoshi, where you project someone backwards as they are lunging forward at you. Here you can see it's called Tsubamegaishi. Ironically, there's a Tsubamegaishi in Judo, but it is a counter to the foot sweep, the Deashi Harai. But here you can see it looks like the mechanics of uki otoshi. As they are coming, you drop down and then you let them pass and flip and drop them. It's called floating drop. It is the first technique you learn in Nage no Kata, so one of the basics of Judo. Ironically, it is rarely practiced in competition. Some found their way around it using their opponent's forward momentum in order to throw with uki otoshi. Here you can see there's a big lift and you can drop down, or you can just you drop down on your knees and then create uki otoshi. There's many variations to it. Here you can drive forward, and as they are resisting, you take them backwards to you. So someone here trying to have a drive of osotogari, you continue that drive forward and you launch them backwards to uki otoshi. So uki otoshi, a floating drop, rarely seen in competitions, but once someone applies it, it is nothing short of magic. Or you can see how he dropped on the level of the elbow. It looks like Aikido's sumi otoshi, someone driving forward with a strike, and you can use it in order to drop down on the level of the elbow, not to be confused with Mifune's sumi otoshi. So the next one looks like a breath throw, or the kokyonage of Aikido. Here you can see it's called Yaridama. You see the strike also, and then you just let it go, and you use a little bit of a push on the inner thigh in order to complete the throw. It is very minimal, not like the Teguruma. It is like a breath throw kokyonage. You just let them pass by. There's no how do you say, complex mechanics to it. You just let them pass by, and it's a very minimal and subtle throw. So here the next one, it looks like a seoinage. It's called Tanya Otoshi, ironically also. Here you see you lift like a seoinage. Seoinage means loading on the back and projecting or throwing. So here that's literally what he's doing. Tanya Otoshi is also found in judo, but it's a valley drop. I also reviewed it in the judo versus karate video, but it is a far different move or technique, but it has the same name in the karate curriculum, but for something else, which looks like the ippon seoinage. So you can see the name change interchangeably between the two, but they can be referring to different techniques or different mechanics, which is incredibly interesting when it comes to learning terminology between two arts. So here this one is like the Moro Tegari of judo, or the double leg takedown. You can also do it from a striking context, udewa. Here you see you deflect the strike, you go down and you reap the legs away. Standard Moro Tegari of judo. It was legal back 10 years ago. And here you can see it's one of the staples. The late Craig Fallon used to do it. He used to just lunge in forward and get it. He's a former world champion that passed away tragically. So here you can see it, but in a grappling standpoint, like there's just grip, kumikata, but in karate you use someone's drive forward, and then you just go down and reap the legs away towards you. You can also feint it from other techniques like ippon seoinage, which is the Tanya Otoshi in karate, and then you finish off with Moro Tegari. So a lot of the basics, whether it's jiu-jitsu, sambo, wrestling, you can find them in pretty much all the disciplines that involve grappling, like the Greco-Roman wrestling, the shoulder and arm throw, like the ippon seoinage, the double legs, in the freestyle wrestling, so on and so forth. Here this one is called the Jackhammer. I don't know what to call it. I figured it has a bit similar mechanics to Sukuinage, but nonetheless you drop them down on their head, so I figured it's a bit different. It is a scooping throw technically, but it is like a different when it comes to really concerning the safety of someone. It's called literally the jackhammer. You slam them down on their head, if I'm not mistaken. So here you can see when in terms of application they differ a little bit. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description below of all the throws. It's an article by Jesse Enkamp. He has a huge channel on YouTube for karate, so you can check it out. I'll leave it in the description down below. If you have anything else to add, maybe something you have to clear it up, if you're a karateka, please let me know down below in the comments. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.